So given everything that we've talked about up to this point, which option do you choose?
So I would choose option number 2, the television without glasses. First, the economics are far superior. So we'll see an incremental profitability of $750 million versus the $300 million of profitability that we would see with the first option, the television with glasses.
Okay.
And now that $750 million is also incremental and on top of the $500 million upfront investment that we'll need to make to develop the technology.
Okay.
Outside of just the economics, we'll also be providing a better customer experience. So people in their homes would far prefer to be watching 3D television without glasses. So we'll not only be more profitability for our company, but will also be a stronger option for the customer.
We've talked about sort of the economics of each. I think option 1 is good. It's less risky. You don't have to risk as much money up front. It's a little bit safer, but it has less of a payoff in the end.
Yes.
However, on the other hand, option 2 has this great, a big payout, $750 million. But it makes me really nervous that we'd have to invest sort of $500 million up front.
Right.
That's, twice as much or more than twice as much as we make in a year. And that just seems like something that, I would be nervous if the market doesn't take off and we end up losing a lot of money. On the other hand, option 1, feels a little too safe in some ways, and maybe we're not capitalizing on the right things. But ultimately, I think if I had to choose, I'd go with option 1. It just seems to be the better and safer option. But I'd really want to see what happens with option 2 and see how that plays out.
Well, Mark, when we started talking, I said that I was going to look at 3 different things.
Yes.
First being the economics, second being market acceptance, and the third being execution risk. So when I look at the first of those, the economics, clearly option 2, going without the glasses, is the better investment for us, a bigger return on our investment at the end of the day. But then when I look at option 2, which is market acceptance, I realize that there's just uncertainty about what's going to happen. We just don't have enough data on whether folks are going to be interested in this product or not. And what I'm thinking about here is, if we go with option 1, which is just with glasses, do we have the opportunity to go into option 2 later, kind of test it out in the market, see if that works, and then we can invest in option 2 later once we can see what our customers are interested in. And the third is execution risk, which kind of follows a similar story. So I would assume that executing without glasses is going to be a much harder undertaking. Obviously, we know the R&D dollars are much higher, but the technology is just going to be more difficult. And so therefore, we wouldn't be able to backtrack if all of our competitors go with option 1. And so that leads me to believe that option 1's are better, our safer bet there, the smarter bet. So looking at all this, the clear answer to me is option 1. I know I lose a little bit of the short-term economic incentives of going with option 2, but I know that long-term option 1 is the best option for us because eventually if we wanted to go into launching a TV without 3D glasses, we'd have a nice platform in order to do that. But I think right now the clear answer is option 1.